A simple thought for your Seder, something from the Haggadah that's so perplexing. This paragraph of Tzei Ulmad. Go forth and learn. Ma bikesh Lavan harami la'asos liYaakov Avinu. What did Laban, Yaakov's father-in-law, try to do to his son-in-law Yaakov? Sheparo lo gazar ela al hazecharim. Paro's decree was only on the males. The Lavan bikesh la'akor es hakol. But Lavan sought to uproot everything and to destroy the entire Jewish people, male and female alike. What a bizarre interlude in the Haggadah at this point. Here we are at a night to celebrate the exodus of the Jewish people from Egypt, to accentuate the tremendous miracle of redemption from the clutches of the evil Paro. And here we're saying, you think Paro was bad, Lavan was even worse. Is that really a way of bringing out the drama and the climax of this redemptive experience, to in some way downplay Paro by comparing him to someone who was even worse? And furthermore, was really Lavan that bad? I mean, after all, he's Yaakov's father-in-law. Yaakov's children are Lavan's grandchildren. We don't even find him trying to actually physically harm Yaakov unless you learn certain psukim a certain way. So what's going on over here? Reb Chaim Vital has a very interesting insight. He says those last words, the Lavan bikesh, and look at those last three words, la'akor es hakol, to uproot everything. He says you take the first letter of those three words, la'akor et hakol, lamed aleph hey, it spells the word Leah. How was Lavan trying to subvert and uproot everything in Yaakov's life? He did it through swapping Leah for Rachel on that first wedding night. And what essentially that tells us is that what Lavan was trying to do was completely undermine the marital life of the Jewish people. And when you try to interfere with the family life of the Jewish people, you can actually really undermine the entire future of the Jewish people. But I think it goes deeper than that, because what was Lavan's attitude towards Yaakov? This is a fellow that I can manipulate, that I can treat in a deprecating fashion, that I can really do whatever I want to him because he's really nobody. And I think that the idea here is that the most corrosive type of enemy that the Jewish people have are not those physical threats from without that threaten to destroy us. We've faced those physical threats before. Shebechol dor vador omdim aleinu lechalosenu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu miyadam. Hashem will always be there to save us from the physical threats. But the most insidious threats are those that come from within, those that are within our own family. And it's those elements and those voices that make us feel like we're less than, we're not important, we don't count. We're not significant enough to be able to do something truly great with our lives. For 20 years, Yaakov was living in Lavan's house, and the same message in a very subtle and subliminal way was given over to Yaakov. When Yaakov first meets Lavan, and he says, I'd like your daughter's hand in marriage, Lavan says, Tov titi osalach mititi osali ishacher. Okay, better to give her to you than to give her to some other guy off the street. Isn't that a terrible thing to say to your future son-in-law? Not, what a privilege it would be for my daughter to marry you. What a privilege it would be to have you as part of my family, to have you as my son-in-law. But, all right, no, I might as well give her over to you. And that was the same message that Yaakov was getting for 20 years. But Yaakov was able to rise above it. But that threat was the most insidious form of threat, because when a person is made to feel that they're not important, then that person will not rise to the potential that is within them. And that could have marked the end of the Jewish people before we ever even got started, if Yaakov would have succumbed to that subliminal message of insignificance. It's very important for us all to remember that we are extremely significant. Each and every Jew has tremendous potential to accomplish something great. So when you're sitting at the Seder with your children, please remind them of the greatness that is within them. Don't be like the Lavans of those voices We've all had those voices in our lives at some point. Someone telling us, whether it's our boss, whether it's a parent, whether it's a colleague, you really think you can do that? Why? You really think you can do that? That's not the voice that we should be listening to. We should be listening to the voice that says, I believe in you. I have confidence in you. I see the greatness that is within you and the potential for you to do something truly monumental in your future. That's the voice that will create the Yaakovs and the future of the Jewish people. Wishing you and your family a Chag Kasher V'Sameach.